Hey coaches, Coach Simpson, appreciate you tuning into my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, it's got a lot of different things, football, offense, defense, head coaching materials. Feel free to scroll through and find whatever and maybe can help you. I appreciate you just checking it out. This week I've been focusing on buck sweep. So I'm wearing the shirts, I've got the hat, I've got all the different things, and everything I've got I've learned from other people and just tried to package it together in a way that maybe could help other coaches. I know that it's been good for me and hopefully it can be good for other people. So today we're going to talk about the last theme on buck sweep, which is trying to get your numbers right. And I don't know if this is so much a buck sweep theme, but I'm going to use it inside of this because it could be whatever base run. So you could insert how to protect your power, how to protect your belly, how to protect your buck sweep, how to protect your outside zone. Whatever your play is, you got to have built-in ways to protect that. Okay, and I've actually put, I actually used to coach basketball. So one of my favorite books I put out is Coaching Football Like a Basketball Coach, where it talks a lot about different ways to view the game, where you're going to run only a few concepts, but be really, really good at those. And in order for you to accomplish this, you can only have so many concepts. So a lot of coaches, a lot of times, when things aren't working, they just go from one play to another play. I'd recommend against that. I'd recommend, let's have this concept we're working on and all these built in, these if-then answers, so that we know we've got it protected. I can say that from experience because the years I've done that and we've been really good at it, we've run the ball really well. And the years I've tried to go with multiple concepts and be okay at all of them, we usually weren't very good at any of them, and it usually didn't work out real well. Also, if you want to look at buck sweep stuff in particular, I've got it in my playbook. Appreciate you guys that have already got this. It's been overwhelming and humbling. Now I'm at like 1,500 copies now of guys that have bought this material, and I really appreciate you guys. And if you have not done so, it's about 150 pages or so worth of buck sweep, all this stuff against all the fronts you might possibly think of. So a lot more in depth, okay? Today though, let's talk about ways to protect your buck sweep or get your numbers right. I'm not going to draw on the board. This is my base set, but you could apply this concept to a 2x2, a 3x1, 21 personnel, 20 personnel, whatever you want to apply it to. These are things that you can do to protect your run game. Defensive coaches, they get paid also, and so they come up with different problems to create in your run game. So you got to have answers for all of these things. And the number one thing is you're trying to, as an offensive coach, figure out a way to be at least even, which means I have enough blockers to handle all the defenders, or if I do a really good job, I can maybe be +1, which means I've got one more blocker than they have defensive players over there. Here's how we do this. The first one, I've actually got a full course on this on CoachTube. I just put it up. It's called Shifts and Trades and Motions, but it's formations basically. How are we going to use formations to get what we want as far as numbers? And specifically with buck sweep, if we line up like this and you put a bunch of other guys over here, well, we're going to look at, okay, what if we go trips and put our wing over here? Are you going to put two more guys over there and now we got numbers over here? Then I got what I wanted. Okay, well that didn't work, no big deal. What if we line up in empty and get you to go too high and then simply bring this guy back in the backfield? Well, now I've got the numbers I wanted. I've got you running a guy late into the box trying to fit. That's good for me. So I'm looking at formations to get the numbers right. The other thing you can do is trades. You can line up one way, shift and move somewhere else, and see how they handle that. So for instance, we may line up like this and then shift our tight end wing over here. If you don't shift anybody, we just got number. We got +2 on that trade. If you shift one guy, we got +1. If you shift two guys, we're even. It really wasn't a great trade, but maybe I got a better matchup. Maybe I'm blocking a better player or a lower, the guy you don't want me to block. Okay, so trades are another one. The biggest one that I have done that a lot of guys have reached out to me on has been the RPO game. If I can't get a guy blocked, what's a way I can read that guy? So we want to have reads in for everybody on the backside, and if possible, guys on the play side on buck sweep. We want to be able to read here, 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 out here, numbers up here. We want to read as much as we can read because now I don't have to block them. So I've added numbers to my blockers because I'm not blocking you. The next thing we do is we go empty. Talked about that earlier. We can line up an empty, shift, or if I have a running quarterback, we can line up an empty and run the quarterback. You know, quarterback gains me a runner. It's the ultimate cheat code in football, is if you run the ball at the guy you snap it to, because now it's really hard for them to get the numbers right if he can throw the ball at all. We can do motions. Talked about it a little bit earlier. We can line up a guy out here and shift them in motion. We might motion here and get them to overreact and come back and run buck the other way. So there are all of these answers that we're going to look at and have built into our offense already. This only works if you've already repped it. You can't just throw it out there on a Friday night and hope it works. But if you've already got it repped, that will protect your buck sweep. And guys, like I mentioned, I've got a ton of this stuff out if you want to get in depth. You can do every literal play I run buck sweep. You can get the playbook. I've got organizational guide. You can get all that stuff is on my website, fbcoachsimpson.com. You can go get the course. This is literally a course I did on this where I go about an hour into it on how to shift, trade, move, and gain numbers. It's got game film. It's got practice plans, all that kind of stuff you might want. That's all on Coach 2. I'll try to put it in the description. Or if you want to keep going free, that's fine. Just keep scrolling through my YouTube and you'll probably come across some stuff. I know I did an hour-long free buck sweep kind of clinic on this channel. If you'll go back and find that, it's got a lot of information you can use. You can also reach out to me, fbcoachsimpson@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me in whatever group you want to. I appreciate all of the guys that have supported me, got my materials, the guys that are watching this channel. It's been overwhelming. You know, it's been something I really have appreciated. If you have not done so, if you would like and subscribe to this channel, I'm hoping to continue to be able to do this for as long as the support is there. So I appreciate your time.